the Philippines. Home for the next 5 weeks, we'll be backpacking around these paradise islands together. We're here for some special reasons, the main one being to visit some of the most beautiful islands on planet Earth. As well as attempting to climb Mount Apo, the highest summit in the country. We'll also explore the historical streets of Manila. We'll go on week-long expeditions on traditional Filipino sailing vessels.
Yeah! Let's have fun! Woo! All right!
All in the search to find out, is it really more fun in the Philippines? I'm so excited to share with you the backpacking scene here. This country has opened up a new side in me, and it's a side I really like. Welcome to the next level, searching paradise in the Philippines. Welcome to Manila, population of over 14 million people and one of Southeast Asia's mega cities. And of course, this is the perfect place to begin our adventures in the country. The Philippines is 7,000 islands, and it's had Asian, Spanish, American, influences over the years. So let's explore the Spanish Quarter, the Old Quarter, and see what else we can find and learn. Just as we're getting to know Manila and setting the scene for what we're going to experience here in the Philippines. I don't think there's anything better when you first get to a new destination than just going out on a stroll, seeing what you can see, smelling all the new smells, and trying to get a grasp of the place. Yeah, just getting your walking shoes on, going for a walk, getting lost, engaging your senses. I think it's the best way to start any trip. Here's the world famous Jollibee's. This is like a fast food chain all over the Philippines. Apparently it's very, very popular with the Filipinos, and you can tell because it's absolutely packed in there. So I didn't find a Jeep, but I found an e-trike. Very cool little mobile. And 20 pesos to get to the other side of town. 15 minutes later, that was quite far actually. Good value for money for 20 pesos. And we are here, Manila Cathedral. We'll have a good little look around here. But I do want to get a drink, I'm very thirsty. What's this guy got here?
Coconut juice.
Please, can I have one? Do you know where the Fort Santiago is?
Yes.
Where is it? There. That's useful.
You go right. Turn right, then turn left.
Then turn left.
Okay.
Turn right, then turn left.
Perfect, perfect.
Going straight.
Thank you.
Nice shot.
It's nice when you walk these streets. It's nice and quiet, actually, in the old town. Not much traffic. So thumbs up for walking around. And when you stop to buy a bottle of water, hello, hello. When you stop to buy a bottle of water, everyone speaks English here, which is great. Yeah, I absolutely fell in love with this part of Manila, the Spanish Quarter. There's so much history here and so much atmosphere, the cobble streets, the colourful buildings, and the really friendly locals. It was just a great place to be. I must have explored every street of the old quarter. I just got so lost and so happy here. Every little nook and cranny, and just having a little nosy at the local food, see what they were cooking, see what they were selling on the streets. And it looked delicious, actually. And I really liked this little candy store I found on the side of the street. Just looked really interesting. I love the way that they displayed the candies just in their plastic boxes. Really cool. The streets here were just full of life. People walking around, hanging out, playing basketball. This place was alive and kicking, and I loved every second of being in the old quarter. My favorite part of Manila, for sure. I'm not a big fan of using Google Maps when you're trying to find somewhere in a labyrinth like this, because part of it, as the song mentions, is getting lost. That's the fun part. But in the end, yeah, I did actually have to get Google Maps out because these streets are difficult to navigate, and I really wanted to find the fort. Okay, we made it to the beautiful looking fort. I'm really looking forward to exploring inside here. So I'm gonna head in. I'll give you some factual information in text because there's a lot of interesting stories in here. But because there's actually like buskers outside and they're singing in Filipino, some beautiful songs. I've just recorded this guy singing an absolutely gorgeous song. I have no idea what it's about, but it was very emotional. So I'll play that for you now while I go in, and you can learn about the fort and not listen to me, but listen to him.
Ako'y malungkot na naman, may chika na ako, ilang tagay na hindi ka rin tulog. Nung wala mo sa langit, na kung bakit umangit. Dating masaya, kayo'y panay problemang bumabalot sa buto. Bakit ganito ang pag-ibig? Ganyan talaga na siyang adik sa aming lugar. Parang droga daw ang bisa na ginamit niya kanina sa unang daan. Thank you, bro. Sarap ang pag-ibig. Ganyan talaga, ako'y nalaman ng pag-ibig. Ganyan talaga, saya ang pag-ibig. Ganyan talaga, ako'y nilamon ng pag-ibig. Ganyan talaga, saya.
A quick message from today's video sponsor, Squarespace. And these guys are the perfect place to go if you're in the marketplace for a professional looking website. I designed and host my own website on Squarespace. I'll link it in the description so you can check it out. But basically, I just chose one of their award-winning templates and then I customized it myself by adding videos and my own pictures. I also use Squarespace to sell some online courses. You could also book appointments with clients on there, sell products, sell services, and do many things using the Squarespace platform. They also have a brand new AI feature called Squarespace Blueprints. You just answer a few questions about what you think the website should look like, how it should feel, what you're trying to do with it, and then the AI will actually just design it for you completely for free. So if you are in the marketplace for a website, go build it on Squarespace. Use the AI or do it yourself using their award-winning templates. You'll see how easy it is to do, and of course designing it is completely for free. However, when you're ready to go live, come back to this video or go to squarespace.com/Paddy Doyle and you'll get 10% off your first website or domain. It's amazing what you can find on Google Maps. Just zoomed in. I was like, I want to be near the marina. I want to be somewhere where we can watch sunset together. But look at this. Beautiful. This place is packed. Can't believe I got a table. Seafood restaurant. Lovely jubbly. Actually, when I was flying the drone just to sort of get perspective of this area, in the distance there's a really big fire somewhere in the city. I hope everyone's okay. It looks really big. It looks really, really, really big. So I hope it's not like a big disaster somewhere in the other side of the city. So that was quite worrying. So fingers crossed everyone's okay. But it's also quite nice because over in this direction you can see the fishermen hauling in their catch for the afternoon. And they seem to do quite well. So yeah, first day in Manila so far has been brilliant. Good morning, welcome to a very windy, different part of the city here in Manila. This is called the BGC, which is one of the newest areas of the city, and you can tell the second you get into this area that this is modern, clean, organized, and very impressive actually. I'm highly impressed just walking around, exploring the streets and stuff like that. Very, very cool, very, very nice. My favorite thing actually was walking through. They have obviously these beautiful glass and steel structures, these big high-rise condominiums, apartments, offices. It does feel like a completely different city. It feels like we've flown into a suburb of Sydney or a very beautiful, expensive Western city. But around it in the outskirts, there's quite a lot of charm and character. This place isn't as sterile as I thought it was going to be. It's very, very nice and extremely livable, I think. Some nice cars here too. Yeah, the BGC, this area of Manila, very clean, very organized, feels very safe, and yeah, I rate it highly. It's very modern, kind of feels like you're in Singapore or somewhere. This is an area that a lot of foreigners in the Philippines are based in, and I can see why, and yeah, it's impressive. Okay, so I popped into another area of the modern new part of the city, and I've come to this mall just to sort of check it out because, look, they've kind of created this whole mall to look a little bit like Venice, and you can get on a little gondola and go up and down, take pictures, and it's kind of just restaurants here. You know, every single franchise going. McDonald's, Taco Bell, Burger King, TGI Fridays, they're all here. You can get Thai food here, which is good. I had some Pak Kapow because I was getting hungry. And yeah, it's quite nice. It's a bit of a gimmick, but I would come here if you were looking to get some food, get some home comforts maybe. The Venice Grand Mall, I think it's called. I'm not quite sure. But anyway, let's keep exploring this area. Check these guys out. As far as a tourist destination goes, if you're visiting Manila, I mean, it's okay. The BGC, you walk around the streets and there's a few malls and things. But the most interesting, the most valuable thing in this area, for a tourist perspective anyway, is the cemetery. Let me explain. Yeah, this place was incredible. I didn't do any vlogging here, I just got a few clips on my phone to be respectful, but this World War II cemetery contains the graves of over 17,000 men and women and the names of over 36,000 people who went missing during many battles in the Southeast Asia region. It's the largest of all American overseas cemeteries and over 150 acres with the beautiful skyline of the BGC as the backdrop. Most who lost their lives did so here in the Philippines, in Papua New Guinea, and in Southeast Asia region in general during the Second World War. It's magnificently done and the grounds are impeccable, and you know, seeing the names of the soldiers is just mind-blowing how many they are, and they're etched in marble. And, you know, when you see your own names there, it just becomes a little bit more real and connects and hits a little bit harder. And what was really nice is because it was in the afternoon, at 5 o'clock they lowered the Philippine flag and then the American flag with the beautiful American trumpet war song. Just really an interesting place to come if you're in the BGC. Just a stone's throw from the cemetery was a rooftop bar. It actually overlooked below to the cemetery and the streets of Manila itself. A great place to have a beer and just kind of reflect on the experience. I'm just going to finish this beer and I'm going to take you for dinner somewhere really unique, really unique and highly recommended. So I'll take you there, I'll show you dinner and I'll give you my final thoughts on this massive metropolis when we leave tomorrow morning. But so far so good. Hi, hello. So welcome to the Singing Cooks and Waiters restaurant. So this place came recommended to me by Will and Jose, and they said this is one of the best things they did in the entire country. It's just a restaurant on the side of the road, but the waiters, the chefs, the front of house staff, they put everything down, they stop cooking, they stop serving you drinks, and they just sing. And they sing for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then they get back to work. It's just very Filipino, very beautiful. They can sing amazing, but let me just see how they can cook first before I give it a full recommendation. But this is an amazing experience. Okay, what do I order? Eventually, the food came out, and look, it didn't look the best. You know, it wasn't like gourmet style, but this is the Filipino way. It's just rough and ready and full of flavor. I had this coconut cream curry with pumpkin and green beans, and just delicious, and fried chicken, of course, and you cover everything with gravy. And like I said, didn't look much, but tasted great, full of garlic. And then I had this delicious mango ice cream thing. Really cool, really like, the food kind of reminded me of Hawaii and that kind of island theme. I can see a lot of American influence in the Filipino food already, and just a great restaurant. 100% recommend this place. Good morning from the beautiful, absolutely stunning Boracay. I've just been walking up and down the beach, getting my morning walk in, and I'm gonna go take you for a coffee now and explain how I got here and some of the amazing things that have already happened, because I got in yesterday afternoon and I just kind of wanted to dump my bag and quickly go explore, and a lot happened. But let me go get a coffee, let me explain how I got here so that you guys have the information you need, because it's the Philippines and it wasn't as straightforward as you think. So one important thing, by the way, because you're going to see it throughout this video, is can you see that there's quite a bit of green color to the sea here? That's actually not pollution, don't worry, okay? It's just a natural phenomenon that occurs a couple of times each year. This is just green algae or green moss, and it comes up from the corals and it gets washed onto the shore. So you will see a strange green slushy effect to quite a large portion of Boracay in this video, but apparently it lasts for about a week. It's really good for the sand. It decomposes onto the sand and it helps the sand become softer and finer, and apparently just keeps it so white. It might look a bit weird on the footage, but don't worry, it's not pollution, it's completely natural. So if you're coming to Boracay, you're probably coming from Manila, but you might be coming from somewhere else. But pretty much the main way to get here, guys, is you have to fly. And there is not an airport on Boracay. Boracay is a tiny little island. But I don't know if you can see in the distance, there's a larger island over there, and that's where the airport is. So you do need to search, most flight search engines, if you just type in Boracay, it will show you that airport, don't worry. When you land, a beautiful little runway, and you get off the plane, you walk down the runway, and you go into the little terminal, you pick up your bag. Now here's the important part. When you arrive, relax, okay? This whole system, this whole airport is built for you to get to Boracay easily and relatively cheaply. I found a kiosk straight away outside of the baggage claim. There's a few different companies. I just went with the first lady. They were charging, I think, the same anyway. 1,050 pesos, and that includes a taxi to the pier, your ferry across to Boracay, and then a taxi to your airport. They will take you from the airport to your hotel. In the end, I just got out of that van because it kept stopping, letting people off at their hotel, and it was taking so long. I was like, let me just walk. So I'm just walking to the hotel, the last kilometer. I wanted to stretch my legs after being on a plane, a taxi, a boat, a taxi. And this is the first impression, the first look of Boracay. And then I made it to my room. And I don't know why, but for some reason, even though I booked as a solo traveler, they've given me all these roses in a heart shape. A bit weird. Anyway, let's enjoy Boracay. Nothing can gain me, nothing else can save me. SOS.
Alright, thank you. I heard about you before. I wanted to know some more.
Well, you can dance with your honey if you think it's funny. Does your mother know that you're out? And that first night, I was just walking up and down the strip, absorbing the atmosphere. Boracay is absolutely packed right now because it's a religious holiday. It's the weekend and it's Valentine's, okay? This is February 14th, so everybody's here enjoying the romantic vibes. This is a really nice change of pace. You know, I've been in Southeast Asia traveling now for 2 straight years, and it's obviously very Buddhist, very Muslim in that area, and here we are in the Catholic country of the Philippines. And I was raised a Catholic, not Catholic anymore, not religious anymore, but this kind of reminds me of my grandma, rest her soul. She would love this. Put a little candle on the statue of Mary in the Philippines. I don't know why she's got an Irish accent, because she's from Newcastle, but there you go.
Thank you.
And then that brings us to this morning, the first full day here in Boracay. We've got lots of things planned for the next few days, you know, a mixture between relaxing and absorbing the beautiful turquoise waters, white sands, tropical paradise vibes, but we'll also be active, including we're going to go diving. Actually, because it's early in the morning, my diving starts in about an hour. So let's go scuba diving. Wow. Yeah, I was speechless. The turquoise waters, the white sands of Boracay. I could not wait to get out there into the ocean and just immerse myself in this paradise. We went down about 25 meters to a wreck, actually, and there was this big frigate that they had sunk on purpose. It had only been there a few years, so it wasn't a crazy amount of marine life or coral, but there was still enough for it to feel really peaceful and interesting. And me and the 2 guys I was diving with, we just relaxed and took it all in. If you're wondering why I'm doing this stupid sign with my hands, it's because you can't do a thumbs up sign when you're scuba diving, because thumbs up means something's wrong, I need to get to the surface right now. So you've got to do this silly hand gesture instead. And I was doing it a lot, so I apologize. It's kind of cringy. We saw lionfish, we saw some beautiful slugs, and then I swam straight into my dive master's face, and he got kind of annoyed. And that was the end of the dive. The thing that I've been dying to do the most is just walk up and down this beach and soak up the vibes, because this place is like a postcard, isn't it? So let's get our walking shoes on, or our flip-flops, and go explore. Yeah, the main beach here in Boracay, it's a very long stretch. Feels like it's about over 1 kilometer long. And the white sands, the crystal clear waters, the palm trees, this is like walking and exploring a postcard. It's really just incredible. If you're not someone who can just lie down on the beach and relax in paradise, don't worry, there's loads to do on this island. But for me, for a good few hours, I just walked around and enjoyed this idyllic slice of paradise. Thanks a lot.
You want some ice?
No, it's fine. I've been in the Philippines now for 4 days, so I've been doing the really sort of important, most responsible jobs first. Being, you know, trying the range of local beers and deciding which one I like the most. I've tried a few different San Miguel's, and I've also tried the Red Horse. Red Horse is a bit hard for me. I think it's about 6 or 7%. I think I'm settling on this one, the Pilsner. I just like the brown glass bottle. And for some reason, these are always the coldest. Is there anything better than a cold beer, the sound of the waves, soft, fine white sand between your toes. The sound of distant laughter from the kids playing, and everyone just having a lovely, good old time here in Boracay. I know Boracay is, you know, it's not a hidden gem. It's certainly a trodden place. But why wouldn't it be? I mean, this is ridiculous. If I was Filipino and I lived in Cebu, I lived in Manila, and this was a 45-minute flight away, you're damn right I'd be here on the weekend, just like the Filipinos have been all weekend here.
Yeah, look, Boracay is packed, and it has KFC, and it has Burger King, and it has Starbucks on the actual sand, okay? So this isn't some sort of tropical hidden paradise. This place is extremely popular, but for good reason. For good reason, okay? Just don't expect to come to Boracay and it for to be some kind of hidden tropical paradise, okay? This is where everybody comes, so just embrace that. If the crowds get too much, hop on a little paddleboard and go out to sea. Go for a swim, go on a boat trip. There are so many places you can escape the crowds, don't worry.
Boracay is a vibe. It's like a festival atmosphere here. The sun's going down, so I'm thinking, guys, we should try and organize one of these boats behind me here. They're all kind of just like parked up here, and all the captains are kind of freelance, trying to sell you tickets. So let's see what we can do. Found a man called Christopher and had a quick pit stop to get a couple of cans. This is Christopher.
Hi, it's me, Captain Chris.
And we got a crew of 4 and just me. Okay.
1, 2, 3. All right.
Thank you.
Back for inside. This is the only sailboat here in Boracay has a horn. The other sailboat, they doesn't have horn.
Oh, we have a horn.
Yeah.
Well, this is already absolutely incredible. I feel like I'm on the set of Avatar or that movie Moana. It's very, very quiet, actually, which is nice. I thought that they would, you know, I know they have sails, but I thought they would have an engine, and it was just like a pretend sailing boat. But this is 100% powered by the wind. Chill mode. This is quite fast. It's pretty rapid, actually.
Please come to Boracay and then sail with us at Team Juana, Busboy Cooperative with Captain Chris. Yeah! Let's have fun! Woo! All right! Beer?
Sure, why not? Let's have a beer. Cheers, big ears. Oh, what is my life right now? This is so cool. Captain Chris has overtaken about 200 boats. They're all in the distance there. And I was like, how come we're so fast and far ahead? He's like, because they don't know what they're doing. They haven't adjusted their sails correctly. Wait. Looks like we're doing a turn. I feel like a real pirate right now. Except I don't have rum, I have a can of San Miguel Light. Wow, what a shot that was. Okay, I'm back. That was one of the best things I've done. That was incredible. It was about 45 minutes and it was pure adrenaline. Like, I know it probably didn't seem like it was going that fast, but it really felt like we were just ripping it across. The best part was, and I didn't vlog this, but I went to climb up and go onto the bamboo and I dropped my phone. My phone fell out of my top pocket like an idiot and it fell in the sea. And then one of his staff, one of the boys, just jumped in and swam underwater, and then like 10 seconds later popped out with the phone in his hand, and it's still on. Like, it still works. Although the SIM card's now not working, but yeah, I think, you know, it'll be okay. But those guys were incredible, and I gave them a nice tip for rescuing my phone and having a really nice time on the water and just enjoying the sunsets in Boracay. I mean, the sunsets in Boracay are un-frickin' believable. And yes, you have to share it. Of course, you have to share it. It's a Sunday as well. I'm curious to see what it's like tomorrow. I'm going to enjoy the sunset, chill out a little bit, go out for dinner, have a look at the nightlife, and then tomorrow we'll go explore some more of the island. Don't you worry. We're not done yet.
Yeah, the nightlife on Boracay was very good. We walked down the strip. There's so many people enjoying the restaurants, live music everywhere, and delicious seafood and food from around the world. This is one part of the Philippines where you will not struggle to find delicious food from all around the world. I grabbed a few beers and I went to this bar that had an amazing live band, and they played 80s ballads throughout the night, made some friends, and Boracay is a great destination for nightlife, don't worry.
Another day, another paradise here in the Philippines. I've come to the north of the island to what I was told was a much quieter beach, but it's still quite busy, to be honest. It's called Puka. Just getting myself a nice little banana and mango shake. And the good thing about this beach, there's lots of natural shade, so you can get yourself a nice little spot on the sand. The water's a bit more choppy because of the wind. The sand is not as powdery and white as it is on the main beach, but it's still really, really nice here. I don't really know what I've got planned for today. I don't have anything really, other than just to explore more of the island and just get that Boracay feel. That is just absolutely next level.
Yeah, Puka Beach, a nice place to come to get away from the main area of the island, and as you can see, it's just as beautiful as the other side of the island. White sands and crystal clear ocean waters, just heaven.
I'm too fat for the hammock.
And after that hammock fail, I just found a little spot in the shade, put down my little beach towel and put on a good audiobook. And I'm ashamed to say I fell asleep, okay? Because it was just so relaxing.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to Cebu. Don't worry, we're gonna see more beautiful places than a grey, ugly car park. I've rented a motorcycle. It's a Honda Click. It's covered in dirt. It's a bit dirty, and it took forever to get it. It's like 1:30 in the afternoon already. So we have a motorcycle. We have our freedom bag, and and it feels really good. It feels so good actually to be back on the road. Yeah, it felt good to be leaving Cebu. I'm sorry I didn't share much of the city with you. Apart from singing karaoke, actually it was a karaoke competition the night before in the hostel. They actually had a 15,000 peso prize, cash prize, that a Filipino won. So this is how serious, guys, they take karaoke here. And yeah, I spent a day walking around Cebu, but it rained, it was miserable, and it's not the prettiest of cities. And I was quite happy to be on the road. Heading south, no real destination, just me, this new crappy rental motorbike, the open road, and that feeling that I love of just going in a general direction with a general idea of where I want to get to. It's raining, and it looks like it's going to be raining a lot in the distance. The direction we're driving, big black clouds. So just pulled over here. I'm going to see if they've got a rain jacket.
380. 380?
380. Okay, let's have a look. Thanks. What do you think? It's got a little window. Don't know why. Ah. Okay. Okay. Look at me. Okay, let's continue. So this rain jacket looks like it's actually gonna do a good job. Fingers crossed it keeps me and my bag nice and dry. And the window that's built into the design, I think it's so that you can look at my sexy legs, guys. You see? If you do want the unedited raw footage of my legs, head over to my OnlyFans. I would love a little drinky poos. Can I have a water?
Water?
Yes, please. A small one. Yeah, I've changed my mind 3 times since I left the city about where to go. I've just been kind of reacting to the weather. So heading south wasn't really an option because there was just so much rain. But then up towards these mountains it looked clearer, which it is. So I'm just gonna head over to the other side of the island first. And there's a really famous canyoneering place called Casawan Falls. So we'll head there. We won't make it today. By the time I got this motorbike, and by the time we got through Cebu traffic, I mean, it's already 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and we've got 2-hour drive to go. But like I've just been singing, I don't care really. You know, it doesn't matter where we're going. It's just good to be back on the road. You know, it might be a rainy, miserable day, but I'm loving it. So I'll just enjoy the rest of these turns, and I'll share with you where we end up soon. But yeah, it's good to be back on the road. So yeah, it rained and it poured the whole afternoon, and I didn't quite make it to Casawan Falls, or the area that the waterfalls are at. Instead, I pulled into this town in the pouring rain. I was cold, I was wet, I was miserable, and I found a place to stay. And I just explored. Now, luckily, the town that I pulled in was actually on the traveler, on the backpacker route. It's called Molbol, and there was restaurants, there's lots of hostels, there was quite a bit of nightlife, live music, and it was a cool place for me to just pull in, dry off, and have a couple of beers and enjoy some food. Luckily, guys, luckily, we pulled into this town because, well, as you'll see the next day, this town has something very incredible up its sleeve. That is just absolutely next level. Good morning, you beautiful bunch. Welcome to Molbol. And the sun's come out and this place looks really nice. It's actually quite popular because there's a very famous natural phenomenon here, which we can check out, which is a bonus. So the town of Mole Bowl itself, you could probably see that back in its day, it was really popular and thriving. Unfortunately, I think it was really heavily damaged by the storm that blew across the Philippines last year. At least the front of the beach, everything seems to be destroyed. Now, the star of the show is the crystal clear waters, and there's a reef. And the natural phenomenon is there is a huge ball of sardines that you can swim with. And you can go on tours. You can see people out here going scuba diving. Scuba diving in the sardines would be incredible because you'd be able to go underneath and swim through them, or you can go snorkeling and just swim around them and maybe swim down if you can hold your breath. And they're trying to sell you tours all around here, but I've just flown the drone and I've seen where everyone's swimming, and thankfully the drone, I sort of saw a group of people swimming, flew the drone overhead, and then as I went up into the sky I could see the big ball of sardines. So we know where to go now. So what we're going to do is we're going to rent a snorkel, get some flippers for like 200 or 300 pesos. We don't have to go on a tour. We'll come into the reef. I've seen some Filipino people being dragged because obviously they can't swim, and their tour guide is just dragging them along with a buoy. They're swimming along the reef, which looks beautiful in itself. Maybe we'll see some beautiful animals, some turtles, and then we'll make our way to the big ball of sardines. We'll swim with the sardines for as long as we can, and we'll swim back. And we won't have to pay to go on a tour. We can just do a DIY sardine tour. So let's go rent the equipment we need back in town. You can get your snorkel, you can get some nice rubber shoes because the rocks are going to be sharp. And you can even get yourself some nice Filipino food here. Spring rolls, sausage. Is it yummy?
Yes, you try.
Yeah, I'll have some after. I'll be hungry after my swim.
100% yummy.
Okay.
Use this.
Oh, you think that's better?
Yeah, because you drop, if you drop it,
Oh, this will, yeah, I don't want to lose another piece of gear.
you know, if you drop that one, you cannot keep it, you cannot get it.
Yeah.
The second that I got into the water, I could sense that this was going to be a great experience. The visibility was immaculate, and I swam out about 10 minutes to get past the reef break into the deeper ocean, which was a little bit disconcerting. Once you see that drop off, it goes from 5 or 7 meters deep down to, well, I don't know, you couldn't see the bottom. Once you negotiate swimming past a few groups and a few other free divers and swimming around the bubbles of the scuba divers deep below, and eventually swimming out to the deep ocean and heading towards where I could see a few heads bobbing onto the surface, I found the outer rim of the giant ball of sardines, and the slightly chaotic but unbelievably magical experience started to unfold. Of course, the sardines were the highlight, and after that it was watching the free divers going deeper than I could ever imagine, swimming down to 10, 12, 15 meters sometimes, and coming back up, taking awesome photographs. They were just majestic. And every now and again you'd catch up with the crowd and you'd be surrounded by people, but because I was on my own, and because the ball of fish was so big, you just swim away and you get a little bit of space and time to just be with the fish and imagine that you're some kind of mermaid. After about 45 minutes, I'd had enough and I was tired, but there was one more magical experience waiting for me on the way back to shore. As I was swimming across the reef, this little fella popped up. So yeah, the next day I decided to leave Molbol and push on and head towards Kawasan Falls, the famous canyoneering and beautiful waterfall of Cebu, where many people, including many YouTubers, come to jump off cliffs and push your boundaries, have fun, and have a real adventure in the canyoneering and a beautiful waterfall as the finale. However, I can't quite share the same experience because as I was driving around and enjoying the roads, I could see a lot of damage and a lot of destruction, and it turned out that a few days before my road trip in Cebu there was terrible flooding and a huge storm. And when I arrived at the Kawasan Falls turnoff, a few locals had told me that unfortunately
It's closed today.
So since it was closed, and the official reason was the flooding had caused too much destruction, and so the Kawasan canyoneering had been cancelled completely, and that the waterfall was now shut. Now don't worry, this is not an indefinite thing, but if you do go to Cebu and it has been heavily raining for a few days, just be warned, it might not be open. At this point I was just driving around thinking, well, what should I do now? And then it dawned on me that my good friends Will and Jose lived on Cebu for about 6-7 months, I believe. So I quickly text them. I said, hey guys, I'm in Cebu. Kawasan Falls is closed. I don't know what I should do. I've already done the city. I've already done Molbol. Any recommendations? And they sent me a Google Map link to some mountain viewpoints. They said it's gorgeous up there, and I had to drive up. And I had my motorbike, so I thought, hey, let's just turn this around. Let's head up the mountains. Let's use Will and Jose's directions, and hopefully we'll find something incredible.
Cebu is turning into a challenge, and I was having quite a nice time for the first 20 minutes. There was a paved road and it was winding through the mountains and I could see the sea behind us, and it was quite nice. But then I've just arrived here and the road has seemingly been destroyed by a landslide. I'm not quite sure what's happening. So I decided to fly the drone from this point, just because I know with my little Honda Click, there's no way we're gonna make it on this. I mean, look at it, it gets ridiculous. So I was thinking, okay, is there any way I can get up here? And I tried a little bit, and then I thought, no, this is stupid. I mean, I'm on a little rental Honda Click. You know, this is not the kind of bike. You know, it's a rental, it doesn't belong to me. If I tip it, if I drop it, it's gonna scratch the bodywork. If I had Zelda and I didn't have this big bag, we'd head up there no problems, but that's a rental. And when I flew the drone, this road continues to be muddy, continues to be extremely steep. It winds up into the mountains, and it kind of seemingly just goes up into almost a vertical, and eventually it gets spat out on the plateau, and I think that's how you get to the summit. But on a little Honda Click, that's a rental, and the state of that road, there's no chance we can do it. So we aren't going to have much luck on this road, so I'm going to have a little look at Google Maps and see what we can do, because I'm not going to give up yet. Kawasan Falls wasn't an option. This road is no longer an option. I can hear a motorcycle. Let me ask this guy. Are you going to Osmeña Peak?
Osmeña Peak? No, not there. Osmeña Peak is the other way around. This road is so bumpy.
Yeah, it's impossible.
No, it's very bumpy.
Yeah, but you got a good bike.
Yeah.
I have a rental. I can't use this.
That one. There, over there.
So which road do I go?
Going to Badian.
Badian?
Yeah, Badian. There's a you turn when you reach Badian, the Badian town.
Yeah.
You turn left.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, safe journey up there.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. Badian. Badian. Let's get on the old Google Maps here. Okay, there's Badian. Badian Highlands. Okay, so we do need to go the other way. So we're gonna head back down to Badian Market and we'll try again. And according to Google Maps, we turn left here. And hopefully this is the road. Wish me luck. Slight delay. That machine up there is digging away at the rocks, and then they're falling down and smashing onto the road. So I think we just wait here until he's finished. Oh, that's a big one. So yeah, I just think we wait here until they've finished destroying the dangerous rocks. Otherwise the road's been fine. Look behind me. This is the road. This is the road. So they've cleared away the rubble and cleared a path so we can continue our journey. This is definitely my favorite thing I've done in the Philippines so far. Just driving along in the provinces, up in the hills, getting lost, problem solving, trying to find our way to somewhere beautiful. This way. Have you got food there? Is that yummy? Is that chicken adobo?
No.
Oh, okay.
There.
Okay, I'll go up there. I'll come and eat with you afterwards. Okie dokie. Thanks, buddy. High five. Getting to the start of the trail was an adventure in itself, but I wouldn't expect anything else in rural Southeast Asia. You know what I mean? Okay, so when you start the trail, there's a little house and you pay 150 pesos for your entrance and you get a guide. So I've got this lovely lady called Anne, and she says it's a 20-minute walk to the highest point. There's a sign that says it's the highest point of Cebu. And there's beautiful flowers, fresh air. You can't beat it. Whew. Okay, nearly there. Just gotta go up onto that peak there. Is that right, Anne?
Yes.
Here we are. The summit of Osamena Peak. Just a few more steps to the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this was definitely worth it. Hello, Anne. Whew. Getting lost in the countryside. Fun little problem-solving mission. Trying to find our way around and up to the top. But we're here. And look at the geography of this place. All these spiky peaks, thousands of them in every direction. I'm not quite sure how they were formed, but it's unique, extremely beautiful, a great place to take a picture, a great place to catch your breath, feel that breeze, and look down upon the beautiful bays of Molbol and Cebu Island itself. And it's obviously a fantastic place to fly the drone. Okay, so from the top of Osamena, in the distance there's another peak called Casino Peak, and it's another viewpoint, so we'll go over there as well. So first me and Anne have just got to walk back down the way we came, and then we'll go find our way over to the next viewpoint. Wow, 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 wow. Now, Osamena Peak, which is behind my left shoulder over there, that was lovely, that was beautiful. But here you don't get a guide, so it's a bit more of an adventure if you ask me. And the trail, actually at the very, very end of the trail, you do have to sort of climb up some sharp, jaggedy rocks to sort of peek over the top. So it is a little bit more challenging, but much more rewarding, I think, because you've got this beautiful Filipino flag here just flapping in the wind, and the views here are much better because you've got a much more 360 view, and you feel a bit more like a real climber getting up here, especially at the end when you're clambering over that rockety cliff. And it's just gorgeous, you know? It was a shame that Kawasan Falls and the canyoneering, something that Cebu is so famous for, isn't available for us to experience, but that's okay. We came and we searched for another paradise, and we certainly found it up here in the highlands of Cebu. I mean, this is gorgeous. I saw this on Will and Jose's vlog. You guys did a great job and you tempted me to come up here. And even though you gave me the wrong directions, I still love you guys for sharing with me and via my channel to my audience now. There's more to Cebu than just Kawasan Falls and Oslob, which is where you can swim with the whale sharks. It is on my way home. I have to drive back to Cebu. We haven't quite finished the adventure yet because I want to tell you why we won't be swimming with the whale sharks. Because, well, let me get down there and I'll show you why.
Previously, we were on the island of Cebu, and after being in Boracay and Manila before that, it was time to get off the beaten track and head deeper into the south of the Philippines on the island of Mindanao. I took a quick 1-hour flight from Cebu to the city of Davao. My plan was to spend a couple of days there and rent a motorcycle and then go on a little loop around the southern parts of Mindanao because I'd heard that they had beautiful mountains, incredible zip lines, lots of local village life, and plenty of opportunities to take our experiences here in the Philippines to the next level. Yeah, a great start here in General Santos, and so I jumped back on the motorbike and headed north away from the city up into an area where there's lots of mountains, volcanic lakes, and some crazy zip line. Okay, we made it to the mountains of South Cabato, I think it's called. In this area there's a beautiful lake where I hope to find accommodation today. There's some beautiful waterfalls and a very cool looking zip line. So I think it's down here. Looks like you go up here and you zip line across that gorge. It's gonna be absolutely terrifying. And then how do you get back? Because I've got my backpack with me. I haven't found accommodation yet. Okay, so the guy told me that this is the highest zip line in Southeast Asia. And I think there's a big waterfall, so as you zip line down, I think behind you here will be a big waterfall, so there'll be a nice view. I think it's doable. I think we can do it. Yes, I'm from England. We're getting strapped in, guys, straight away. This is a bit different to a normal zip line. I think we're going to be lying down on our belly, right? We're going to lie down? Oh, God.
Please, Superman. Lay down, sir.
Lay down on the floor?
Put your hand on the floor.
Oh, okay. Oh, God. Oh, God. Okay.
And you're ready, sir?
I'm absolutely terrified. What am I doing? Oh, this feels really weird.
it is free.
We're just going straight for it, are we?
It's zero solo. Whoa!
The highest zip line in Southeast Asia. And I haven't even had breakfast. Can you guys have a look? How am I tied in? I haven't even been...
Left side, left side.
Left side, okay. Okay. Just try to enjoy it. Superman. Just try not to think about it. Enjoy it. Oh. Okay. They haven't asked me my weight. They haven't asked me anything. They just tied me in. Well, if this is my last day on Earth, and I had a good innings, I enjoyed my life, and I tried my best. Okay. Oh my God. Here we go. Wow. And there was two waterfalls. There was one, that one was absolutely terrifying. But then we had a bit of a break and we went over the jungle, and then there was a second reveal to this one. And that for me was the scariest part, because I could see the shadow of me on the zip line so far down, shining upon the canopy and the water below. Wow, they just took it in their stride, bless them.
Lay down and slow down. Lay down and slowly breathe.
Oh, okay.
England, from England.
Yeah, from England, yeah.
England. English.
English!
English speaking.
English speaking country, yes.
Enjoy, Roger.
Thank you.
Yes, sir, welcome to Philippines.
8-5, solo.
Okay. Right.
Yes, sir.
Here we go.
You can fly, sir, huh?
Fly like a butterfly.
Okay, here we go. You guys can have a front view this time. Wow. Look at that. Woo. Incredible! Woo. And stop. Whoa. I feel like Superman. Okay, there was actually a path after the second zip line around to the bottom, the base of the waterfall, so we can get a nice look at it up close. Little family here enjoying the incredible scenes. Look at the size of the cavern here. Just simply stunning. And to think, this is a non-touristy place, and yet this is some of the most beautiful parts of the Philippines we've seen. We're searching paradise and we found it here for sure. So yeah, we were having a great day here in southern Mindanao, and it was time to continue. And so I got a lift away from the waterfall back up to the start of the zip line, where I got back on my motorbike and headed towards this lake. So part of the process of this zip line is getting a ride back to the top, because that's where my backpack is, that's where my motorcycle is. And then nearby this area there's a lake with a big resort, and we'll try and stay there tonight. I found a resort called Isla del Punta, I think it was called, and quite expensive, about $50 a night, but it did include dinner, which was a very local Filipino seafood dish with vegetables and rice, and it was quite delicious. But a big storm rolled in, and so I just kind of called it a night and enjoyed the facilities, enjoyed the room, and just the serenity of this gorgeous lake and the lotus flowers. And yeah, I spent a nice night there, and then the next day again just exploring this little area around the lake. This was a very unique and different part to the Philippines that I had experienced anywhere else. I did want to do a whole road trip around southern Mindanao, and my plan was to do it for 3 days, guys. 3 days on this motorcycle, and this was the beginning of day 2. And so I drove around. I tried to go to a place called Lake Holon and failed. I tried to go to a ridge mountain trek and failed. I just couldn't find these places. There's very little service, so Google Maps wasn't working, and I just found the roads to be just very difficult to drive on, and my motorcycle just wasn't good enough. In England, we have a saying when we say, I'm at my wit's end. And I don't really fully understand that saying, but I feel like I'm at my wit's end. Because this has been the most challenging 3-hour drive I've ever had. And we've done a lot of different difficult drives. Partly the reason is this bike. This bike is just a little twist and go scooter thing, and it hasn't got the tires or the suspension. The second issue is the roads in this particular area of the Philippines are non-existent. It's flashes of bliss when you have a little bit of tarmac, but the majority is just pebbled stones and potholes, and so the bike and the bad suspension just makes the whole ride really not enjoyable. Plus I have my big backpack, and I'm getting absolutely murdered by the sun. I've pulled over and put sun cream on twice, but my legs are getting battered. My arms are covered in sun cream, but they're still getting battered. It is so hot here. I wanted to take you to the mountain ridge, which apparently on Google Maps is a place where you come and you park up and you can go on a little trek. And there's a really cool looking ridge on Google Maps, looks really nice. But it's been 3 hours and I haven't been able to find it. And I've tried multiple times and I've given up, guys. I've given up. Hi. There's one last thing that I'm gonna try though. There's a little bit of a gap in the trees here. We'll put the drone up and we'll just do a 360, because according to Google Maps, I'm right next to this place, but I've just come through a village and no sign of anything. So we'll fly the drone, we'll see if we can find it. Right, I'm just kind of zooming around, looking, and apart from it being very, very beautiful, and apart from it looking lush and green, I don't see any mountain ridge here. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and the mountain ridge in Mindanao is an L for us. Look, to be honest, I gave up my 3-day road trip, licked my wounds and headed back towards Davao, because I was about to embark on a very, very cool expedition, a 3-day trek to the tallest summit in the country of the Philippines, a volcano called Mount Apo. It was going to take 3 days and I needed to go back to Davao
to get some gear because it was going to get cold, it was going to be wet, and I was ill prepared. So let's pick things up on the first day of the trek as we attempt to climb the tallest mountain of Mount Apo, about 5 kilometers away from the trailhead at 5 a.m. where we're having breakfast. Excited, dread, nervous, all in one. So let's begin our trek.
Yeah, it's bad. But I'll eat it. I'm hungry. Okay.
To reach the summit of Mount Apo, we need to climb 10,000 feet, or roughly 3,000 meters. And because the volcano rises out of the nearby ocean, the starting point of the trail is only a few hundred feet above sea level, so the majority of the 10,000 feet we have to climb will be done in the first 2 days. What makes the Mount Apo Circuit Trail so unique is that we pass through 6 stages on our way up and back down from the summit. Stage 1, we trek through the lowland farms and we pass through villages, which is a great way to experience the local lifestyle.
Adorable.
Stage 2, we're going to make our way through the magical mossy forest, a very special and rare ecosystem only found here in the mountains of Mindanao. This forest will be absolutely gorgeous, but it will be treacherous, very swampy, and the location for the campsite on day 1. Then the most challenging stage, stage 3, will be waking up at 1 a.m. to start our climb up the boulders.
Okay, everybody's packed up.
These volcanic rocks are open to the elements and there are sulfuric gas vents all around us. And our aim will be to make it up this steep, rocky face before sunrise. Then stage 4 is the lake found in the volcano's dormant crater.
Nice view.
Here we will have a chance to rest and prep for the final climb to the summit, which will be the 5th and highest stage. If we can make it to the summit, then we will have completed stage 5. And finally, the 6th stage is the descent, which takes us down another side of the volcano where we will have one more night camping at another beautiful volcanic lake before we loop back down to base camp. A total of 3 days trekking and plenty of physical and mental challenges await us. But the best part is, you guys are invited for the climb with me and to share this experience together during the video. So if you're ready, let's begin. Subscribe if you're new, and if you enjoy this video, leave a like. Okay, let's go.
Maximum time natin papuntang south is 1 p.m. ng matagal.
Good morning. The adventure starts now. Up there in the distance, you can see the summit of Mount Apo, the Philippines' tallest mountain. A dormant, I hope, volcano. Everybody here, there's quite a lot of people here as well. They've got a lot of gear. We've just had a big meeting. I've just got a little backpack with some water and a fleece. So are you ready? We're gonna climb the tallest mountain in the Philippines, or fingers crossed. Let's go. Hello.
Hello, sir. Good morning.
Good morning. One thing I forgot to mention, and another reason why I'm nervous, is I woke up with diarrhea. So 1 a.m. my stomach just went into cramps and I evacuated my intestines and lower bowel area, which was nice. The good news is I think it's all out. Wow. The unsung heroes of every trek. The hard-working porters, and for a small fee you can give them bits and bobs that you don't want to carry yourself. Now, being a solo traveler, I don't carry a tent or a sleeping bag, so I've had to rent them, and they weren't heavy, so I chucked that in the porter bag. One more thing to mention is this is the Mount Apo circuit trail we're doing. There is a 2-day summit where you start from the bottom and you will go to the top and come back down in 2 days, but this is a 3-day loop around the volcano, taking in the sights and the scenes and summiting and then coming down, so it's a bit longer.
Hello, sir.
Hello!
Yeah, good morning. Welcome to Mount Apo Summit.
Juventus! Good
Whoa.
team. Good team.
Yes.
They play in black and white like my team. Holy crap, this is gorgeous. Hot. Adorable. Time to say goodbye to the views for the time being, because the rolling agricultural hill stage is finished. We're heading into the misty mountains now, into the forest, I should say. To me, this is paradise. Searching for paradise in the Philippines. Even if we haven't been to El Nido or Coron yet, we found it. We found it up here in Mount Apo, 1000%. Wow. Wow. So beautiful. So peaceful, so quiet. No matter what happens from this point, Paddy, you never forget this feeling of being in the mossy forest in Mount Apo. This is beautiful, magical experience. It might just look like a walk in the park. It might just look like the forest near where you live. But for me, my eyes have been opened to a whole different type of environment. And even though I'm sweating, it's quite cool. We're going higher and higher up into the mountain. the wildlife here, the little things you see moving and birds dipping down to collect something for their nest up ahead. Ooh. If I had a better pair of shoes, I would be flying up this, but I'm glad I'm going slow because I get to share with you the little moments that I'm having. I've just been thinking a lot. You have a lot of time to yourself in such a beautiful place. So many inspirations and thoughts come to you. I think nature brings out the best in everyone, really. But I just wanted to say that I feel so grateful and so happy and so privileged and so blessed to be able to share not just the Philippines, but this mountain with you. Because, you know, I know a lot of people who watch this, you won't be able to come here. You know, maybe it's just too far away. Maybe you're suffering with injury or old age, your knees have gone or something, you know, and you're watching, you're sat at home. And I just hope you enjoy as much as I am. I mean, it's never the same, you know, I can feel this, the texture, the rough texture of these leaves and the smells and the visceral experience of actually being here. But if you're sat at home somewhere and you're enjoying this, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for watching. It means a lot. This is fun. Challenge. Ah. Just look at this. It's gorgeous. Pastel orange. Just gorgeous. Okay, welcome to camp. Everybody is setting up and pitching their tents. I'll show you my tent situation in a minute. And we're actually camping in the moss forest. And let me show you around. So most people are just camping here, and the porters and the guides are cooking up some dinner up there. We'll probably be eating soon. And these are some guys who just arrived, and I'm over there somewhere. These are the layers that I was telling you about that I put with the porter. I got this jacket in Davao, actually. It's got like a cool gold lining, so it's going to keep you warm for sure. And then I've got a fleece from H&M, 300 baht, and then a little fleece hoodie thing. And then I've got my little trekking pants that I bought in Vietnam when I did the caving. And then some dry socks. You can't beat dry socks, guys. Oh my God. I'm all mixed up. I've got Columbia, I've got North Face. No brand loyalty. So this is my little humble abode. I've got my gear out here. I'm just drying off some of my stuff. My socks, my GoPro, and my shoes and my underpants and my shorts that I trekked up in, because everything was just soaking wet through sweat because it was really, really muggy. And the second we got to camp, because I was soaking wet through from sweat, I got really cold. So I quickly dried off and got all my layers on. But there's people over there, just no shirt on. So maybe I'm just showing that I'm a soft southerner. And then this is my little tent. Should we get in? Shoes off. Okie dokie, here we are. It's a one-man tent, and I've got a little sleeping bag which the company rented. So I've got a very nice situation, and then we'll get our wake-up call at 2:30 a.m. to continue up the mountain, finish our way up to the summit, and there's going to be some surprises along the way. Cheers.
Cheers, my friend.
This is Filipino mountain coffee, aka powdered coffee in a plastic lid or something. I ordered a flat white, but I don't think they got my order. Have you seen that thing on YouTube called like Titanic in 5 seconds? So they sum up a Hollywood movie in 5 seconds, and it's just like, this ship will never sink, and then it just cuts to it sinking. I've got so much footage coming up that mountain, especially like we had good weather in the morning, so I could see the mountain. I was sweating my balls off going up that farm, you know? When the sun came out, I had my sun.
But good thing it's like brief, it's like 20 minutes.
Okay, everybody's packed up and we're about to start the cold, dark climb towards the summit. It's 3 a.m. now. And I'm going to put this camera away and let's go. Feels like it's almost vertical, and we're climbing with our hands, just pulling ourselves up using the roots of these trees, which are really handy, thank God. And everyone's sweating, everyone's taking off their layers. I've got my jacket wrapped around my backpack, my hat stowed. I think it's a couple more hours of this. Do you remember when we began the climb and we used the drone shot, and at the top of Mount Apo you could see that grey, almost white cloudy area? Well, that's called the boulder face. That's the stage we're on now. There's these huge rocks and boulders, obviously, and everything stinks of rotten eggs because it's sulfur leaking through the cracks in the ground. And we're all climbing up here, and there's like there's a fog rolling through. Almost feels like rain, but I think it's just fog. And yeah, if you do Mount Apo, guys, I suggest, little piece of advice, bring in some nose pegs, because this yellow sulfur is it smells so bad. It smells so bad, but it's okay. The view makes up for it, doesn't it? The sun is about to come up. We were supposed to be at a certain point for sunrise, but that's okay. Who gives a shit?
Woo! This settles the argument, beach or mountains. Mountains every day of the week and twice on a Sunday. Except for this rotten egg smell. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, I said. It's alright. Look, we are not anywhere near there yet. But who cares? It's not about the top, it's not about the summit, it's about the journey up there. Vamos. The trickiest part is trying to figure out the way to the top. What I really like is that, you know, you're not following a guide. You're in a group, don't get me wrong, but you're not in a line following the next person. Everyone just goes at their own pace and there's just 1,000 different ways to the top. But when I lose sight of the person in front of me and I can't see the person behind me, I start to think, am I going the right way? And these rocks make it super difficult. This is really difficult, guys. I don't know if I'm going to make it to the top. Okay, this is a nice moment. We'll be able to actually summit together. Just me and the other foreigner here. The Filipinos are having a bit of a break, but we pushed up to the very, 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 very top. There's a lot of false summits here. There's lots of different photo opportunities, but this one is the legit top. Here she is, the summit. Welcome to Mount Apo summit, 10,300 feet. The highest point in all of the Philippines. Is here. Wow. Give me a little kiss. We're now gonna make our way down for the next day and a half. And I'm going to listen to music and just power through, because for me, climbing a mountain, the fun part is always the climb. The challenges and going down sucks.
been here for a couple of days now, and I really love not just El Nido, but this island of Palawan. For me, I had an immediate sense of regret when I arrived here that I hadn't begun my Philippines trip here, or that I had given myself much more time here, because I immediately fell in love with this place. So after climbing Mount Apo, I was knackered and left the city of Davao in the Mindanao island in the south of the Philippines and took 2 flights, one to Cebu, and then I transferred on another flight to Puerto Princesa. From there, as soon as I walked off the plane, I went outside and got in a van. But the van, which was going to be a 5-hour journey to here, which is the town of El Nido, actually turned out not to be a van, it turned out to be a private car, and I got to share it with 2 Swedish people, and we had a really comfortable drive from Puerto Princesa all the way to El Nido. It took 5 hours. We stopped when we wanted, we got lunch when we needed, popped to the loo if we needed a tinkle, and it was such a pleasurable journey all the way from Davao here to El Nido. It was a 12-hour travel day. It went smoothly, it was comfortable. Maybe I got lucky, I don't know, but thankfully when I arrived here in El Nido, I was instantly impressed. So that brings me to yesterday, when I decided to go on one of the tours, one of the island hopping tours, which El Nido is extremely famous for, and it's the main reason, the main activity to do here. Let me be real with you, and I'll brush over some of the negative parts of it and save that for later in the series, because at the end of this series, guys, I'm going to have a whole Filipino series debrief, okay, where, because this series is light-hearted, entertaining, and full of music and full of happiness, hopefully. I'm trying to keep it positive, but you know, the Philippines, okay, there's been a lot of problems whilst I've been here, and I'll be sharing all of those in the debrief. And so let me just quickly touch on one of them, which was the beginning of the tour of Tour A yesterday morning. So basically, in a nutshell, we were told to be ready at 8 for our pickup because the tour would start at 8:30. And here we are at the pier at 8:30. And I had no idea, no one else knew, but we were going to be here for 2 more hours, baking in the sun and waiting around, seemingly for nothing. I'll save the details for another future video, but basically just incompetence and a complete unorganized system meant that we spent 2 hours waiting on this pier and 45 minutes on a boat in the muggy heat, and everybody was just miserable, and it was the worst start to a tour I'd ever experienced. So we were all very frustrated. The people on the boat were kicking off. There was a Russian girl and she was hurling abuse, and rightfully so. The Filipino people on the boat tour were also agreeing with her. I was keeping quiet, I was staying out of it. So the tour did get off to a very frustrating, and it put everybody in a moody, mardy atmosphere. So we finally set sails for the open ocean, and we arrived at the first stop of the tour, which was basically just getting dropped off at this quite beautiful little beach, and we were told we had 35 minutes to get off and explore and relax at this beach. But yeah, it wasn't the most relaxing of an environment really. It was a beautiful beach, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't really somewhere that I could unwind and really enjoy.
Prime Tio! Prime Tio! Let's go!
Very relaxing. Apparently we can go snorkeling, so I might do that. So let's see what else there is to do. Look, I'm not really one to go on group tours. I normally like to organise a private tour or just avoid being on a big touristy day out, because I know what to expect, and this is exactly what I was expecting. Lots of people, lots of boats, all going to the same places, and you just feel like you're a cog in a system. And yes, there are opportunities to get away from the crowd and take pictures, but you know, you're on a time limit, it's place to place, surrounded by lots of people, and it wasn't my vibe. Don't worry though, this tour does get much, much better, but at the beginning I thought to myself that I should have just listened to my gut and tried to do something different, but like I said, this tour will get better. And once you get out into the sea, I think Filipino people, they don't really like swimming in the sun, so there was not that many people snorkeling, to be fair. And I went out, and that was the highlight of that first stop. Just being there in the ocean, dipping down, swimming to the bottom, hanging out with the fish, looking at the coral up close, getting away from the megaphones, getting away from the noisy engines, getting away from the kids screaming, just being with the fish, hanging out. It was very enjoyable. Oh, I really enjoyed that little snorkel. It really is an underwater paradise under there. Even though it's not the crazy coral, but there are more snorkeling spots later in this trip, hopefully. I mean, if you just erase the people from your mind, this is one hell of a beautiful beach. I would love to come here, hang out for the whole day. I'm starting to think I should have done a private tour and done a bespoke itinerary maybe, but that's okay. You can't really argue for the price, let's be honest. It's cheap. 1,200 pesos plus 200 environmental fee, so not too shabby really, and they provide lunch. Then it was off to the second stop, which was the Secret Lagoon. The reason they call it a secret lagoon is because you kind of have to swim a little bit to the entrance. There's a little hole in the cave, and at low tide it's exposed and you can crawl through, and there's a little lagoon in there and you kind of take pictures and things. Okay, welcome to the Secret Lagoon. I decided to go explore because I saw a little beach to the corner, so I went back out of the Secret Lagoon, and that's where I kind of found my own little slice of paradise. There was a little beach there, there was some palm trees, and it was lovely. It was incredibly beautiful, I must say. And the Russian girl on our tour, the one who was kicking off massively before the tour started, she was having a wonderful time taking pictures, and I gave her a hand because it was very photogenic, and she was obviously looking to get lots of nice pictures, like everybody is. These island hopping tours, guys, are selfie sessions for most people, I must admit. So at this point, we were having a good time. Spirits were up because we were finally on the tour and we were having a good time. But now it was around about lunchtime and we were all really hungry. And so the captain said, oh, we'll go to the next stop, which is a beach where we can go on the beach and have lunch together. This was my favorite part of the entire tour because the wind and the storms started to blow in from the open ocean, and they surrounded us, and there was thunder and lightning, and the heavens opened, and it started to rain cats and dogs. And the Filipino kids from Manila, who had never even been snorkeling in their life, this was their first experience of snorkeling. They came out and joined me, and we went under the water, we swam together, we had fun in the lashing rain. Because you're already snorkeling in the warm Filipino ocean, the rain means nothing. You're already wet. And so it just added this beautiful atmosphere. And I got to have this really nice, unique experience of snorkeling in a very quiet bay with some cool friends that I'd been making on this boat. And we all laughed and enjoyed swimming in the sea, in the rain, in the storm. And it was the best part of the entire tour by far. I mean, scuba diving is something I love, being on the open ocean is something I love, and swimming under the ocean is something that I just find so peaceful, so calming. So yeah, had fun with the fish, had fun with the people on the boat, and then we had time for one last stop, which was the Big Lagoon. There's a pair of white-crested sea eagles living around here, and they're flying around in the sky together, and it's beautiful. And then you've got everybody else just relaxing, taking pictures. By the way, my hotel, let me quickly take you there and show you, because this is the first time in the entire trip in the Philippines where I can recommend you somewhere to stay, because I just love where I'm staying. Apart from it having a really good location, and I'll show you around the local area real quick, because it's just about a 5-minute or 10-minute walk from the main area of El Nido, which is perfect. And the room is amazing. This is a nice big double bed with soft pillows. You get 6 pillows, lots of places to charge your equipment, and it's just nice and bright in here, and there's like 3 windows and you can see the blue skies outside, and then there's a nice bathroom with a hot shower that's quite powerful. You've got aircon up there. Now this is the Filipino way. Listen to when I turn it on so you guys can get a feeling. This is pretty much, except for one time, this is how aircons are in the Philippines. When you switch it to high, listen to how loud they are. And you can hear the water gurgling. Sounds kind of gross. Luckily I have like noise cancelling headphones. And that's the case everywhere in the Philippines. They're always like this. So this is the town that the hotel's in. It's just next to the main town of El Nido. About a 10-minute walk or a 1-minute drive. And what I really like about it is it's just sort of where the locals hang out. It's where the locals live. There's a big cemetery here on the left. Even though we're so close to the main town itself, it just feels like we're in a little village. Hiya. And walking into town, or as we're driving in today, you can see the town itself here, the beach, and if you look in the distance, there is a lot of limestone cliffs, and there is a viewpoint. You can climb up to the top of them. But my legs have not recovered from Mount Apo, so we won't be doing that today. Up here on the left, this little bamboo shack with the green roof here, this is a really cool sunset bar, and it's run by ladyboys. It's really fun. Don't have a go at me for driving on the beach, because this is actually normal. This section of the beach is actually a road. You see? I couldn't believe it when I got here, but just a couple of 100 meters before you get to the main town. All right, first stop, gasoline. I'll show you the town later this afternoon when it's a bit more hustle and bustle, maybe after sunset. Long-time viewers of this channel will know that I am in my absolute element when I have a little motorcycle and I have the open road and just a big area to explore. And so obviously this was probably my highlight of the whole experience in El Nido. Renting a motorcycle here is very cheap, and there are lots of beaches, and as you'll see, because we're going to go explore in this section of the video, the peninsula of El Nido is not just one touristy beach where you can go off on those tours. There's jungle trekking, there's so much to do in El Nido, and the motorbike opened up a whole new world and a whole new side to Palawan for us. Even though we've been in the Philippines now for nearly a month, I haven't seen that many beaches. We went to Boracay and that was gorgeous, but it was packed. So I'm really eager to find a real group, a cluster of paradise beaches, and that's what El Nido's famous for. And this is Leo. It's right next to the airport, so I can't fly the drone, but it is lovely. I highly recommend this part of the Philippines, guys. It's by far the best infrastructure. As I'm moving around the Philippines, I'm learning that each island and the Philippines in general, you can't really, it doesn't feel like one country. It feels like each island has its own government, its own level of infrastructure, its own budgets. Some islands are just low quality in terms of the roads and the hotels, and others are just really, really good. So this island of Palawan gets a big thumbs up from me. Look at this. one of the planes coming into land to El Nido. You can catch that flight from Manila. It's a lot more expensive because it goes directly to El Nido town and you skip the 5-hour minivan from Puerto Princesa. But they didn't fly from Cebu. So if you're coming from Manila and you want to skip the long bus journey, then fly here direct. Guys, this beach has it all. There's 3 or 4 really nice looking restaurants, including a really nice Mediterranean restaurant here, which I'm sure in the afternoon would be really busy. Fresh fish, and you can get yourself a cocktail and a cold beer. There's an ice cream gelato place right here. You could set yourself up here for the day. The only downside of this beach is I can see a sign about a warning about sandflies. Sandflies can be a bit annoying. So after that lovely snooze, it was time to head back on the motorcycle and further up the coast. Again, there were so many beaches to choose from. I just randomly chose this one here called Natcan Beach. It was another 30 minutes on the motorcycle, and when I got here, I just was blown away. A huge long stretch of white sand and the perfect amount of breeze, ocean spray, lots of shade, and places to get a cold beer and lunch. This beach is somewhere that I highly recommend that you come, bring a beach bag, bring some towels, bring some snacks, and set up camp for the day, because you could relax here, get a massage, explore the whole area, or just lie down, do nothing, and just enjoy yourself. This beach is a little bit further away. It was about a 20-minute drive, and it's busy. There's a lot more people here than there was at the other beach. They've got the sunbeds, they've got the umbrellas, there's a few restaurants. I've just had some vegetable noodles, and you can get a massage here, and there's a nice breeze, and it's just beautiful. So I'm gonna enjoy a couple of cold ones here, I think, and relax for a few hours. And that's exactly what happened. I bumped into this lovely couple from the UK who actually were subscribers, and they kind of said, "Hey Paddy, we watch your videos, let's have a drink." And I happily accepted the offer because it was nice to meet people. It was nice to share stories about trips to Vietnam and Thailand and things like that. And we talked about our experiences in the Philippines. We just spent 2 or 3 hours having cold San Miguel's in the shade on the beach, and yeah, just share funny stories. And that's what we did for the rest of the afternoon. Sink a few cold ones, go for a swim, have a few more beers, walk up and down the beach, just relax, catch up, share stories, make friends. And before we knew it, it was late afternoon and we were in McDonald's. This beach is actually back in El Nido because we came back and we wanted to watch sunset together, and we looked on Google Maps and this one here seemed like the best spot to do so. Cheers, big ears. You can take the Brits abroad, but we'll still eat McDonald's on the beach.
What can you do?
We're looking across at the bay. By the way, the bay that we're looking at, this is where Tour A was yesterday. And what a difference a day makes. I'm glad, actually, on reflection, that today was my beach day and yesterday was the boat trip because we had the weather, we had the rain, and I would have burnt to a crisp if I was out there today. I've been lucky to be on the bike, exploring the beaches, having coconuts, having shade, and then meeting these lovely guys.
And drinking beer.
And having a good old chinwag and a good old catch up, isn't
I've missed some British old sense of humour.
Yes, it is. It's nice after a month of being in the Philippines, talking shite.
And eating shite too.
and eating nutritional Filipino food.
Wait for the debrief.
Yes, we've been talking about the end of series debrief. But you know what? How does it get better than this?
It's beautiful.
It doesn't.
We've come to the far end of the beach because over there where the main crowd is, there's a lot of loud music and weird people dancing, and actually from that perspective I don't think they'll be able to see the sun go behind those mountains because of that zipline area over there. Anyway, 10 out of 10 day in El Nido. I bloody love this place, and it's definitely not a hidden gem. This is where you come to be a tourist and to expose yourself to some of the most beautiful sights in the world.
Hello.
And we're having a great day. So we're gonna enjoy a couple of cans that we bought for cheap and watch the sunset and just soak this up. I mean, sometimes there's no words. There's no words, is there? Just open a can of beer, that's enough.
Cheers, guys.
Actions speak louder than words. Cheers, guys. Give me your best dance.
Okay. You always dancing in the petrol station.
In today's adventure, I'll be sharing with you the best thing that I did in my entire trip in the Philippines, and it was all aboard this gorgeous wooden sailing boat.
And we're going to be sailing from El Nido on the island of Palawan, across the Palawan Strait to the beautiful island of Coron. There are 20 other people on board from around the world and 9 Filipino crew, and a trusty sea dog as well. This is going to be a really authentic expedition because not only is the sailing vessel just very magnificent, but we're far away from any signal, any Wi-Fi. And so we're all just in this together to enjoy hidden beaches, beautiful islands, and we'll be stopping off at incredible camping spots and camps along the way. This company is called Tao Expeditions, and it wasn't cheap. It cost me $750 US, but it does include all of your drinks, all of your meals, and all of the campsites every evening. A lot of the people on board have told me that this is the reason that they came to the Philippines. They had heard so much good stuff about Tao Expeditions that they made an entire trip to the Philippines just to go on board and enjoy the expedition. So let's begin with the boarding process, and I'll give you a highlight and a snippet of each of the 6 days, and at the end I'll give you my my conclusions if it was worth it or not.
So after meeting at Tao's headquarters, we quickly began with the fun boarding process.
Here we go. Home for the next week. Good morning. Wow, look at this. We'll do a tour later, don't worry. Let's get settled.
The Balatik is Tao Expedition's premium vessel, and it is completely made from wood and has beautiful hand carvings all over the main deck. We were all excited to be on board, and with our first day's sailing well underway, the group spent the first few hours getting to know the boat and slowly introducing each other and getting to know the crew and the trusty sea dog.
So cute.
The Balatik's design is a revival of an almost forgotten Filipino sailing culture where the sails and the two outriggers come together to help navigate shallow reefs. The chef wasted no time rustling up a delicious lunch, and we were on our way to the first stop of the expedition.
You know, traveling the Philippines has been a very, very interesting experience, and I've loved it. But, you know, there's been some difficult times. The entire country is not the same. There are parts that test you. But if you're looking for the image of the Philippines in your mind that you see on postcards and on travel vlogs, then you have to come to Palawan here. And who would have thought you could come to somewhere like this and have it to yourself and just live in a postcard moment. I'll remember this for a long, long time. This is this is outrageous. Look at the color of the water, the soft sand. Let's breathe it in together.
So as you can tell, we were all soaking in the paradise views and settling into this newly adopted lifestyle of simply sailing through and searching the ocean for beautiful spots where we would moor up and just explore that local area. And after a full day's sailing, we arrived in the late afternoon to a secluded beach on a gorgeous island where we were told our camp would be for the next 2 nights.
Cheers, big ears. Complimentary rum and orange juice. No, pineapple juice. Oh, that's delicious. If you're wondering, by the way, oh, Paddy, you seem quiet. You seem not yourself. I'm just being a little bit standoffish on day one, especially with the camera. I don't want to be vlogging people that I don't know. So I'm going to get, you know, they've been asking me about the cameras. I've been flying the drone, and so now they all know that I have a YouTube channel, and we'll have a couple of drinks tonight, and then I think slowly throughout this trip I'll open up a little bit more and introduce to some of the other people on this tour. We've now checked in to our little accommodation here, and no power, no signal, and this is all part of the experience. It's just good food, good company, unbelievable backdrop, and a time and a chance to escape the online digital world. Good morning, and what an amazing night's sleep I had in the hut. And so the sound of these waves just put me to sleep like that. I think I've slept for 9 hours, and waking up this morning with the view of the bay, with the ship moored up, other guests going for morning walks. There's a girl doing yoga behind me. We're gonna have breakfast, we're gonna have coffee, and the plan for today is to sail for the whole day. Find a few spots, find a few places away from all of the other tour boats this time. Try and find our own slice of private heaven. And then we're actually coming back here to camp and sleep again and have dinner here again this evening. So it says on the website when you're booking the tour what this trip is for and who this trip is not for. And it says that, look, if you're squeamish about bugs and being remote, away from signal and away from power, then this trip's not for you. You know, the shower is just a simple hose coming out of that tree there. It's not heated, but it's not freezing, so it's fine. And then they have actually pretty decent toilets, and they have soap. Last night, you know, there's no Wi-Fi. They just put your head down on the pillow and you drift off and you sleep to the sound of the waves. So it's a very relaxing, it's a very good opportunity to sort of switch off. Another thing that I haven't shown you is the bar tab situation. So every time you order a drink, they have 3 different types of beers on ice. They have gin, they have vodka, you can have a gin and tonic. You get this bracelet, you see this bracelet? And then they scan it using their phone and you have a balance. So before you get on the boat, I paid 5,000 pesos, and then every drink you have deducts from that balance. If you don't spend the balance, then they give you the remaining cash when you finish the trip. Good morning, chef.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Yeah, good.
Look at this awesome bamboo cooking shelf he's given himself. He's got rocks in here. That helps keep the pot over, the fire coals. What are you making today?
For the eggplant omelette.
Oh, eggplant omelettes. Oh, that sounds nice.
I'm going to put in.
After a fun evening at camp and a great sleep and a hearty breakfast, it was time to swim aboard and begin day 2's adventures. As you can see, the weather was great and we couldn't wait to see where the crew would take us next.
Okay, after that lovely hour-and-a-half sail across the El Nido Bays, we've arrived in this secluded piece of paradise. And there's about 5 or 6 beaches we could choose between which one do we want to swim to. The one over there has a little looks like a little private residence, we're not quite sure. We flew the drone over there. Could be a little beach bar, I'm not quite sure. And then just in front of us here is actually one of Tao Expeditions' campsites. We're not using this one at the moment because they're renovating it. But all along these jaggedy limestone cliffs is a reef here, so we've pulled up to do some snorkeling. And as we arrived, a little turtle came up and got a breath of air. So I think this is going to be a good little spot. I think what I want to do, just quickly before we go try and find a turtle, is show you the underneath of this boat. These are awesome. Love how you can just get into the water like this. And then so the platform that we're all hanging out on and eating and having drinks is all made by bamboo. And when we were sailing here, like, the water does splash up through, so you do need a wet bag because stuff doesn't stay dry. I think I can stand on it. Yeah, I can. Whew. Whoa. Whoa, steady now. I don't think I'm going to be able to do this. Yes. Doesn't this vessel just look incredible? Love it. All right, let's go see if we can find this turtle.
Sadly, the turtle didn't show his face again, but that didn't matter. I didn't mind because we were just soaking up this beautiful snorkeling sight. As you can imagine, being surrounded by these waters and incredible surroundings, the group was just full of joy and everyone got to go off and do their own thing, which was nice. Some of the passengers swam to a nearby beach and just enjoyed that paradise. Others carried on snorkeling for the whole hour and a half, searching for more fish and marine life, while a few others just stayed on board, enjoyed the shade, cracked open a few cold beers, and just escaped the midday sun. And after visiting a few other snorkeling spots later that day, it was soon time for us to head back to our campsite, but this time we would be doing it in style. You see, it was time for us to enjoy our first sunset aboard the Balatik whilst we were out sailing in the open ocean. And trust me when I say that this sunset was gonna be a special one.
Wow. Okay, this is a part of the expedition that everybody's been looking forward to, which is we've just been sailing out to the open ocean now for like 2, maybe 3 hours, just so that we could face the sunset, turn the engines off, set the sails, and sail toward camp. And for the first time on this expedition, we really do feel like we're on a pirate ship sailing the seas. And I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna get the drone up and try and give you guys a perspective. So thumbs up for the risk, because this is a moving vehicle and there's a lot of cables and hazards. But if I can land it back, you'll see the results. And you'll see just how epic this boat looks in this environment. We were just enjoying the sunset and we thought, how could life get any better? And then they shouted happy hour, which means free rum and punch for everybody. And we get to enjoy that. I do realise that this travel vlog is ridiculous, but this is a ridiculous experience. And as you can tell, I highly recommend it.
The afternoon peacefully transitioned into evening, and by the time we sailed back to camp, we were navigating through the most stunning moonlit seas. It had been a day to remember, and we couldn't believe that we still had 4 more days of this ahead of us. However, as you'll see, things didn't go completely to plan in the second part of the trip.
Welcome to day 3. This morning we're actually having breakfast on board. We have to leave early because we're still in the El Nido area, but today apparently we need to get going. We need to start going across that Palawan Strait. And this is the coolest thing, right? So you put all your stuff in a dry bag, you have your coffee, you brush your teeth, you have a shower, whatever you need, and then you just swim to the boat. And that's your commute in the morning to get on board. You can take a kayak, okay? If you don't want to swim, they will put you in a kayak and they'll take you over there. But I think it's quite fun that you can just swim over there. Pretty cool, pretty unique. Right, day 3 on board. Let's go. Right then, let's get on board. Oh, it's cold today. Goodbye, Paradise Island. Can you believe it? Look at that. Unbelievable. Okay, we made it. Are you ready for day 3? Yeah?
Day 3 was a big day sailing wise, and we spent much of it simply navigating the open waters.
Banana pancakes.
Breakfast was served on board, and as you can see, as usual, it was delicious.
Okie dokie. First stop, a beautiful beach. And we just moor up and we have the option to kayak and hang out at the beach or swim. Looks like everybody's left the boat. I've just been snoozing, backing up some footage, relaxing. I don't actually think I'm gonna bother going on the beach. I think I prefer just the breeze and having the boat to myself, pretty much, just a few of the crew. It's funny, day 3, this has now become normal. Just turning up at your own private beach on this own private random island. Try to remember, this is not normal. This is incredible. Just pulled up against this absolute beautiful place and we've just had a great lunch. It was absolutely delicious. The food seems to get better as the trip goes, and what was really nice is I jumped in straight away after lunch whilst everybody was still digesting and checked out. Just over there you can see them scuba diving there now, sorry, snorkeling. That's an 85-year-old sunken wreck. It's only shallow, it's only small, but it's been there for so long that, well, I couldn't believe it. I think that was actually one of my favorite ever snorkeling spaces I've ever seen in my life. There was just so many little fish, so many different types of coral, starfish everywhere. And I just had so much fun when I came back to the boat and everybody was kind of like full from the big lunch. I just said, guys, I'm not just saying this, but that was my favorite snorkeling I've ever done. And so everybody was like, really? And a few of them have already come back and said that I was right. And on this island here, you can go visit, there's a local village here and people live here and they fish here. I think we might nip over there and have a little look. Look who's back. Let's go. Okay, we're here. Olé! Thank you very much. So it turns out Tao have lots of different camps, and this is just one of them. We're not actually staying in this one, we're staying somewhere else this evening. And apparently this is the one that what everybody on my tour was saying was on Instagram, but I didn't even check, but we're not staying here. So I'll show you around, but it's beautiful though. When you think of paradise, this is what you think of, right? Swaying palm trees, white sand, turquoise, blue water, coral reef. Nobody around to annoy you, no music, no one pestering you. Just a little chicken. The only issue is, I think there's a few people who are a little bit upset because I think they thought, because of the marketing and the Instagram, that this expedition that we're on, the multiple day one, the longest one, most expensive one that Tao offer, I think they thought that we were going to stay here because they've shown us this campsite and now they're like, okay, enjoy a couple of hours and then we're going to find our own campsite, because apparently pre-pandemic Tao Expeditions had over 12 boats, and you can imagine they need a lot of campsites, and I think this is the shining one. This is the A-grade campsite. Okay, this is a bittersweet moment. On day 3, we have to say goodbye to Balatik, our trusty wooden sailing boat, because I think actually in the distance we have seen tomorrow's vessel that we're going to be exchanging. And we've just said goodbye to a few of the staff and a few of the crew because they're going to stay on this boat and take the next group back towards El Nido. Oh, goodbye, Balatik. You've been a great vessel. Look at her shining in the sunlight. Gorgeous. Tamarind margarita. Oh, that is so good. We're having a tour, so I better catch up with the group. There's a basketball court. There's a volleyball court.
Head chef is here, and then also you're gonna having dinner tonight here.
This is the massage area. Look at the size of it.
This is foundation where partnership with the communities, especially for the women.
Yesterday's camp was really nice, but everybody's freaking out about how good this one is. And the best part is we can enjoy the sunset just before it goes down behind the mountain. This camp is actually Tao Philippines' home for its social enterprise, and they use it as a base of operations to train many of its local staff force. Dinner, as you can see, was extra special, and with the tamarind margaritas on hand, the whole group enjoyed a really fun evening together. Day 4. It was going to be a much needed lazy morning for the group, and breakfast was just perfect. Banana flour burgers with fried eggs and radish dressing. These were amazing, and I think I had 2 or 3, and with local fruits and coffee on tap. Everybody was really happy just to relax for the rest of the morning, because sadly today is the day we have to switch boats. Okie dokie, the time has come after a lovely lazy morning to switch boats. So everything from the wooden boat is going to get transferred onto our new boat. And this is the one that's going to take us all the way across the Palawan Strait towards Coron. It feels sad to leave another beach, another paradise beach, but as this trip is proven, we just seem to go from one paradise to the next. So not too worried. But is it going to be a shame to say goodbye to that beautiful Balatik wooden boat? The new one looks okay. We'll survive. This new boat, even though it wasn't as photogenic as the Balatik, did have much more shade and a lot more space for the group to relax on. Today was all about covering a large open water distance, so the group just got their books out and started to relax because we were going to be crossing the open waters for the whole day. I cannot begin to tell you how good it smells in the kitchen here. Fresh calamari, and then there's a beautiful fish stew boiling away in here. The smell of the galang and the chili, amazing. Okay, so welcome to the third camp that we've stayed in, even though this is our fourth night. This is the third different camp, and this one's a nice one. We've got these traditional Filipino bamboo huts once more, with our own little mat, and then they'll put the mosquito net in there later. And we've got uninterrupted views of these beautiful white sand beaches here. You know, today we did have 2 or 3 activities, but it kind of got cancelled because everywhere we stopped there was just so many jellyfish, and a few people got stung. They're okay, they're fine, but it just meant that we couldn't really snorkel anymore, which was fine. I didn't even feel like getting off the boat. Every day they knock out a big jug of what's in this one today?
It's rum and pineapple.
And they give you like a complimentary glass of rum and pineapple juice or a cocktail, and he'll shout happy hour, and then everyone will come and have a few glasses of rum and coke or rum and ginger or whatever it is that they've made, and we'll just do this every evening, have a couple of free cocktails.
Happy hour! Salud! Salud!
Yummy!
What about the singer? And
Hi. Day 5 was going to be our last full day at sea, and with the glorious weather once more, we couldn't wait to explore this incredible part of the world. After visiting some local fishing villages and snorkeling in some of the most incredible reefs, we arrived late into the afternoon to our final campsite of this trip. Okay, behind us is the final night's camp. It's called the Jungle Camp because it's in the jungle. We had to come through a canal system here to get here. And it's more of a homestay vibe, where there's a lot of local villages here. And unfortunately, we're not allowed to swim because there's crocodiles and box jellyfish all around here. And there's no beach anyway.
The group and I just spent the next few hours settling into our new camp and enjoying a few beers in the pool. Dinner was going to be an extra special one because we were going to be sampling a local delicacy here in the Philippines called lechon.
Tonight dinner, it's yes, this is a big dinner tonight. Yeah, mostly we serve whole pig here, like during birthday celebration, wedding celebration. We call this one lechon in Tagalog. This pig we buy here from the neighbor, from the island. And we have rice noodles with vegetable, that's a vegetarian. We also have Filipino power, and if you want fish, we have fish.
Whoa, look at the way the skin just cracked. Like the whole body just cracked.
I won't cry, I won't cry, no, I won't. Last night's dinner and the karaoke had gotten pretty wild, so we brushed ourselves off the next morning, ready for what was going to be our last flourish of paradise before we arrive at our final destination of Coron. I think that this last island and this campsite of Camp Nene was actually my favourite place on the entire tour.
Welcome to Camp Nene. If you're coming from Coron and you're going to do this tour in the opposite direction to what I've done, if you're going to start in Coron and end in El Nido, then you'll spend a couple of nights here at this campsite. This is another one of the Tau campsites, and it has its own cove of white sand, incredible paradise, turquoise waters as usual. And I'm just starting to lose the vocabulary. I don't need to tell you how beautiful this is. I don't need to tell you how incredible this place is. And I don't need to tell you that doing the Tau expedition has been an incredible journey from start to finish. And this is our last day, and there's a little bit of a slump in the mood because we don't have long left.
More yummy food and more snorkeling and more sailing led us sadly to our final destination of Coron town and the pier itself. It had been an awesome 6 days at sea. If you're thinking about coming to Coron here in the Philippines, I hope this video will be useful for you. Not only will I show you where I stayed and a great spot for sunset, but I'll also go on one of the most popular island hopping tours and show you the magnificent sights. So sit down and relax and enjoy this little escape to one of the most beautiful places in the world.
Good morning and welcome to the final installment of this Philippines series. We've been backpacking around the incredible country of the Philippines for the past 5 weeks. And you know, we started off in Manila where we got to know a little bit of the history and we met some of the locals there. We had a great time in Boracay, enjoyed the sunsets, enjoyed the sailing and the scuba diving. Great time in Boracay. Then we had bad weather in Cebu and we still made some adventures. We made some good memories there. And after that, we went to Mindanao and we climbed Mount Apo, the tallest mountain in the Philippines. And ever since then, we've been in Palawan, in El Nido, and on a Tau expedition for 6 days across the ocean here to Coron, which is my final destination. I've been hanging out for a couple of days here at Hop Hostel, which is a very beautiful hostel. It's done in the Greek style, beautiful flowers, a nice swimming pool here where there's lots of beanbags and hanging out, great food. However, I will say that this will be the last hostel I think I ever stay in. Even though it's really nice, I just can't handle it anymore. There was a bloke snoring his head off last night. Smelly shoes, people coming in at all types of hours, drunk. You know, usual fun, young, hostel, backpacker life. I'm 37 now. I'm 37. I can't handle it anymore. I'm too old. I'm officially a miserable old bastard. So I thought for the final episode, we could explore this town of Coron. It's a small town that sits on this bay, and there are lots of beautiful places. Today I'm going to go on a little tour around the local area. I'll show you some of the beautiful sights that this place has to offer. I'll show you some more of the town and some more of the sights. And we'll just sort of take it easy today, and we'll just go at our own pace. Let's go enjoy Coron and see what we can find today.
So the lovely people at the front desk at the hostel recommended that I couldn't be in Coron without trying one of the many island hopping tours, and they recommended the best one was the ultimate package, and I paid 1,600 pesos, and I was picked up that morning around 8 o'clock, and we were quite quickly shipped off onto a little boat with 15 or so other backpackers, and we were heading in the general direction of paradise.
Starting to look like Avatar again. There's quite a few boats here already, which is surprising because it wasn't that busy when we were leaving. You can see it better over here. Look at this. Wow, 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 wow. I want to swim right there. See if I can find some fish. Okie dokie, so I've flown the drone and got a perspective of what's going on. It seems like because there's a lot of boats, you can't actually swim here because you'd just get hit by a boat. So what we have to do instead, thank you, is make our way along the train of boats, go past everybody else's tour. Hello. So we're gonna say goodbye to this paradise and head to another one, I hope. Hi, could you give me a hand? Sorry. I'd love to not fall in here. There we go. The water visibility is unbelievable. But that's kind of normal here in the Philippines. Looks a little bit like southern Thailand with these jaggedy limestone cliffs, except for these outrigs on the sides of the boats. That's the very Filipino touch. Isn't that beautiful? Look at the color of that turquoise boat in the turquoise waters.
This first stop had a quick hike up to about 350 steps or something, not difficult and not lengthy, up and over a little mountain to reveal the freshwater lake.
Okie dokie, in we go.
It was fun to swim around. They do enforce the life jackets, which means you can't really go underwater, and you know, you're swimming with a bunch of other people, so
Welcome to the second stop, Barracuda Lake, and we were told, you know, bring your life jacket, you're not allowed to snorkel. And I thought to myself, let me fly the drone, let me just see if it looks any different. And of course, undeniably beautiful. You can see people swimming in a designated area and everybody's got a life jacket on and no one's allowed to snorkel. And I'm absolutely desperate on the edge of our boat here. You can see the fish and there's this huge coral shelf that surrounds these beautiful limestone cliffs. And you know, it gives you a depth of about 2 or 3 meters, and then there's just like a sheer wall, and it looks like a really fun place to go free diving, a really fun place to go snorkeling. And I've asked the captain, I said, can I just skip Barracuda, because I'd rather just have a little bit of an alone time, just me and you with the fish in this, and we'll swim along this little wall of coral and see what we can find. That sounds way more fun to me.
And yeah, it was way more fun, as you can see. I mean, to be honest, I wasn't really vibing from going stop to stop with so many people and the crowds from all the other tours. And so just by asking if I could swim off and have my own little space and have my own little mini adventure, it was such a good idea. And so if you're feeling the same as me, just ask your tour guide. I'm sure he'll let you swim away and do your thing. And then the tour continued to a few more places that were just undeniably beautiful. And as this drone shot shows you, it's just this part of the world, guys, this part of the Philippines almost felt like it was saving the best till last. And instead of me just trying my best to put how beautiful this boat tour and this part of the Philippines is into words, I think I'm just gonna let Mother Nature do all of the talking.
So this is the Secret Lagoon, and most people come here by kayak. You can kayak around, or you can swim and then climb up the ladders like we just did.
And yeah, as I was swimming under the water, and I'll show you some more of the incredible footage, not only of the reefs, but of the limestone cliffs, the places that the boat was sailing across, the amazing turquoise waters. I'll share it all with you right now visually. But I just also want to quickly talk about the thrill and the joy that I get from traveling solo. This has been a 5-week trip around the Philippines, and I've been making YouTube videos about it, and I hope you've enjoyed them. I've had a lot of fun expressing myself and trying new things and just having a laugh and just enjoying travel and expression, because there's something about the thrill of hitting the open road that you just can't replicate. That thrill, the freedom, the independence, and you just truly experience things when you're solo traveling. And for one thing, you know, it's very empowering, I feel. You're forced to rely on your own wits and resourcefulness. I mean, yeah, it can be scary at first, the prospect of solo travel, but honestly, once you're out here, you can navigate these unfamiliar areas and figure out what public transportation is, how to interact with the locals, how to navigate an entire country, whether you're on the back of a motorcycle, in a chicken bus, or on a little boat sailing across some paradise Avatar-style waters here in the Philippines, for example. These can just boost your confidence and help you in all aspects of your life, I promise. I think you must go on a trip completely on your own at some point in your life. If you have done many solo travel trips before, leave me a comment. I'd love to know what you guys benefit from when you go on a solo trip. Please let me know in the comments below. And we're going to finish this Coron exploration and this Philippine series with one last cold beer at one last sunset viewpoint. It's been a pleasure. Thanks for watching, and let's enjoy the last scene together.
Engage the calf muscles. After a lovely day at sea, it's time to do something that Coron is very famous for, which is walking up 700 steps to that beautiful sign and a Jesus cross and a gorgeous view overlooking the whole of the Coron Bay. So we've grabbed a couple of cold beers and we're going to try and finish our exploration of Coron in style.
And it's going to be nice timing, by the way, huh?
Yeah.
Yes. Our plan came together. 700 steps, we're nearly there. Just at the bottom of the sign. I'll show you the view in a second. Don't worry. What, 12, 15-minute walk? Not too bad. Looks like they light it up at night with these light bulbs. That's cool. One more level to go, not quite at the top yet. 720. We made it. Have a look at this. Hallelujah! We made it! Actually, the view is very obstructed from up here, not the best view, but follow this path and there seems to be a viewing area. Wow. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Enjoy.
Oh baby, I love your madness. It's so incredibly beautiful. Oh, you shine like gold, so selfless to all, and wild like an animal. Some would say I'm insane in the right in a way, but I just love to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know, and give me your freedom. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium, life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. The limit of love is endless, I know. Just do what you want with me. Yeah, I want it all, could care less the cost. I give you my everything. Some would say I'm insane in the right in a way, but I just love to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know, and give me your freedom. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium, life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. And give me your freedom. Whoa, yeah, to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium, life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium.